What's good, guys? Your boy Tactical Guardian back at it again. We're gonna start doing reaction videos. This is another segment that I'm creating and putting onto the channel, but you know I don't like to waste time, guys, so we're gonna get right into this video. Today we're gonna be talking about some DEI, so let's go ahead and watch this shit show together.
American companies and lawmakers already rolling back DEI initiatives in response to Trump's election victory.
I wonder why.
But progressive Democrats still pushing back, including this outburst over a Republican-sponsored dismantled DEI bill. Watch.
Please keep Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name out of your mouths.
Yes.
He was a proud and unapologetic black man. I'm not surprised that you would deny American history.
You consistently said over and over the word oppression, and every time that you said it, it was almost as if I was hearing nails on a chalkboard. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country.
Kaylee McGee-White is the Independent Women's Features Editor-in-Chief, and she joins.
I feel like every single person who supports DEI in some way, shape, or form doesn't understand how racist they actually come off with so many of the things that they formulate. I mean, honestly, majority of the spokespeople for DEI, unfortunately, typically happen to be black, and a lot of times they have this entire gauge towards the white man, and I'm just like, you know, when you repeatedly attack a group of people, you kind of fall into the same category of racism as well. But I mean, hey, whatever, right?
Me now. Kaylee, if you are yelling, you are usually losing. Did DEI die on November 5th?
I think it certainly did, and you're already seeing some of the consequences of this in the private sector, where several companies are sort of rolling out these plans to roll back their own DEI initiatives that they've set in place over the past few years. But of course, I think it's going to be much more difficult to tackle DEI at the root than these companies and even some Republicans may expect. And that's because this is a big money-making racket, Todd.
She just said like the key words. It's a big money-making racket. Literally, this whole section of DEI, it's literally all for making money. It's so bad. They're just like, hey, we need to hire people that check the box. We don't need to hire you based on your merit and your skills and what you can actually bring to the company, organization, project, whatever it is. We need to hire you based on this checkbox, because if we hire you based on this checkbox and we have this amount of people, we can get government funding, we can get money, we can get access, we can get access to different programs and different things. And I think that entire structure is ridiculous in itself. You know, DEI is all about we're trying to get people hired because we don't want them to be discriminated against, but you're oddly enough discriminating against people who are actually qualified and have the skills to be able to perform the functions and tasks that are needed. I mean, shoot, you don't believe me? Look at the information technology sector. Everywhere, almost everywhere, is getting hacked left and right and left and right and left and right, because they're not hiring people anymore based on a certain level of skill. They're hiring people based on, oh, your resume sounds good. You can't really do the job, but your resume sounds good. Or you have these keywords inside of your resume that we like to see, but you don't actually understand the technical documentation, or you don't have the technical aptitude to be able to put everything together to perform the job at a high level that's actually needed to have proper security. It's just like the age of TikTokers and everybody like posting them. This is, hey guys, this is my daily life as a IT blah blah blah. Like, you got so many people posting these things and you think that's what tech is, and that's not what tech is. Like, you know, me and my cousin talk about it all the time. That's not tech. Tech and what it used to be is the real technical people that's sitting down coding, actually really going through stuff. And those people that really have that level or skill are not being hired anymore, because a lot of times they're kind of socially awkward and they don't really communicate on a certain level with people. And it's not on purpose, it's just because they're, I don't know how to explain it, but they're a different type of person, right? They're really into technology. They really understand technology to a certain level, and that might be the person that doesn't ace the interview because their social media isn't great and they don't have this great posted thing where it comes to LinkedIn, and everyone's trying to be, you know, you need this social presence to, you know, type thing to be able to be it. And sometimes a lot of the tech people who can actually get the job done, they're just not like that. And so they end up not getting the job, or they're getting passed over because, hey, we need to check this box. I mean, the DEI thing is ridiculous. It really is.
One Harvard professor estimates that U.S. companies spend about $8 billion per year on diversity trainings alone. That does not include the very profitable DEI consultants who can charge up to 6 figures for their work when they go.
6 figures? Consultants are charging 6 figures? What is there to consult about DEI? Hey, you need to hire some more Asians. Yeah, get those in the door. Like, what the fuck? You need to hire some more blacks. Hey, you need to hire some more whites. Hey. You need to hire those little purple people from Mars, man. Like, what is there to consult about DEI? Honestly, there's nothing to consult that you could charge 6 figures. Meanwhile, you're probably over there working a hard job and actually getting it out and grinding and doing something. And these people are getting paid 6 figures to consult what race or ethnicity or background or just these ridiculous factors that a person should be hired for. Wow.
Go into some of these corporations. And then, of course, there's the other issue, which is that even if you get rid of DEI initiatives in some of these private companies, and even at the federal government level, you still have not tackled the root of the issue, which is higher education. These ideas did not come from nowhere. They need to be torn out root and branch from our colleges and our universities, which, by the way, are also funded by our taxpayer dollars.
Interesting analysis here from the executive director of Consumers Research. Says the following: if you wouldn't go along with DEI regime under the Biden administration, they were threatening to sue you or claim that you're violating civil rights of minorities. So it was more a combination of the threat of bad.
That's the exact point that I was making. Like, inherently, the DEI program and policy, I mean, it's racist in itself. Like, it's ridiculous. It's, you know, something that's made to attack people. Like, hey, if you're not with, you know, what we're with, then, you know, we're gonna tear everything about you down because we don't like you and you hurt our feelings and you're not following our movement. And that's just like the whole movement of the past 4 years that stuff has been. It's more about people's feelings than about facts. And pretty much DEI is the same thing. It's more about people's colors and races and little checkmark boxes than about people's actual ability to perform a task or job at a high level. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Press or government action against these corporations. It would follow to me that if there's no longer that threat of bad press or government action, that DEI would stop. But you're saying, if I'm listening to you correctly, that the DEI industrial complex might be too strong for this thing to go away with the snap of a finger, Kaylee.
It's not going to go away.
Well, and part of its strength is the tactic that we just watched. The bullying, the intimidation, the suggestion that anyone who opposes DEI is racist or is discriminatory or is oppressive. And this is where we need to reframe the conversation. Anti-DEI initiatives are not anti-DEI. They are pro-merit, pro-equality, and pro-common sense. And by the way, they're also something that a vast majority of Americans...
Those things that she just said are something that you should have noticed in the last 4 years has went totally out the window. So
they want DEI dead. 66% of Americans, including 54% of Democrats, said in a poll earlier this year that they do not want their companies making hiring decisions based on race or sex or some other immutable characteristic. So all of these companies, higher education, everyone needs to get in line and fall into the will of the American people on this issue.
So why did Democrats lose? California Senator-elect Adam Schiff said everybody's to blame, the entire Democrat Party to blame for Harris's loss. Listen.
Look, I think the entire Democratic Party bears responsibility, myself included, and the former president.
I ain't gonna lie, he look a little crazy. he look a little crazy, man. If you're from California, like, comment down in the comment section, like, what goes on in California? Because you guys got some really, really weird laws, and you guys elect some really, really weird people. Like, I mean, whatever. Even your governor Newsom, I mean, that guy's, hey, you did right with Schwarzenegger, but everybody else, I don't know, man.
And mounted an effective campaign, and you have to give him credit for that. But I do think the Democratic Party has to recognize the challenge we have, which is for too many millions of battleground voters, working people, they don't think we represent them, and we have to make that case anew.
I would argue they don't think you represent them because you don't anymore. Final thoughts to you, Kaylee.
Well, if Adam Schiff has suddenly had this awakening, one way to tell whether it's genuine is if he starts governing from the center in his own state of California. And he could start by challenging his own governor, Gavin Newsom, who now wants California to become the center of resistance to the incoming Trump administration.
Every time I look in the news, I see something crazy where it comes to California for like new laws, where it even comes to the Second Amendment or anything else. I just don't know how you guys live there. And yeah, she's right. He probably needs to challenge that, because the center of resistance where it comes to Trump is a ridiculous. I'm not even gonna say anything.
California is a big part of the problem. California policies, which are generally dictated by the progressive movement, were thoroughly rejected by the American public. So if Adam Schiff really wants to take that look in the mirror, he's got to start with his own home state.
Kaylee McGee-White, have a great Thanksgiving week. We appreciate it. Carl.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I hear Brian Kilmeade, Steve Ducey, I just laugh a little inside. It's just, their names are funny. But remember, guys, we're tactical and we're guardians, and we love the Second Amendment over here. So you either catching law or lead. Hit that comment, like, subscribe, be enjoying part of the family, because we're gonna do more stuff like this. The reactions are gonna vary from politics to different things. So like I said, lock in, hit the bell, and till next time.